In our rapidly evolving world, the pursuit of unrelenting economic growth has long been seen as the cornerstone of progress. However, as we witness the environmental, social, and economic consequences of this growth, the next generation is raising crucial questions about its sustainability. Are we at a tipping point where the costs of relentless economic growth outweigh the benefits? This article delves into the emerging concerns of the next generation regarding unrelenting economic growth, and explores the potential for a paradigm shift towards more sustainable alternatives. From understanding the consequences to empowering youth-led initiatives, we examine how the future of economic growth rests in the hands of the next generation. Let's face it, economic growth is like that overenthusiastic friend who always wants more money, more consumption, more development. But what exactly does economic growth mean? Simply put, it refers to the increase in a country's production and consumption of goods and services over time. While it may sound great on paper, the implications of unrelenting economic growth are not without consequences. Here's the kicker: as our economies continuously expand, we're putting a strain on our planet's resources and ecosystems. The concept of sustainability, the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs, is challenged by this relentless pursuit of growth. We need to find a balance between economic progress and the long-term health of our environment. When we're so caught up in the frenzy of economic growth, we often forget that our natural resources are finite. As we extract more and more materials to fuel production and consumerism, we're depleting our forests, exhausting our freshwater sources, and contributing to climate change. The unchecked pursuit of growth is causing irreversible damage to our planet, and we need to take a step back and reassess. While economic growth may promise prosperity for all, it often fails to deliver on that promise. Instead, it perpetuates the cycle of wealth inequality, with the rich getting richer and the poor getting left behind. The benefits of growth tend to concentrate at the top, leaving many marginalized and disadvantaged. It's time to question whether this relentless pursuit of growth is truly benefiting everyone or just a select few. As economic growth shapes our societies, it also shapes our social fabric and cultural identity. Rapid urbanization, consumerism, and the prioritization of economic values over social and cultural values have led to a loss of community cohesion and personal well-being. We need to consider the intangible costs of unrelenting growth and re-evaluate our priorities. The next generation is taking note of the problems associated with unrelenting economic growth. They see the environmental destruction, the inequality, and the erosion of social bonds. Young people today are more aware than ever of the need for change, and they're ready to challenge the status quo. The youth of today are not content with business as usual. They're demanding a more sustainable and equitable future. They want economies that prioritize well-being over GDP, that value social and environmental justice, and that promote inclusivity. The next generation is ready to put a stop to unrelenting economic growth and create a world that works for everyone. One alternative gaining traction is the concept of degrowth. It challenges the notion that economic growth is the only path to progress, and suggests that we need to shift our focus towards quality of life, social justice, and ecological sustainability. By redefining our measures of success and embracing a more balanced approach, we can create economies that thrive without the need for unending growth. Another avenue for change lies in embracing circular economy principles. This means transitioning from our current linear take-make-waste model to one that promotes resource efficiency, recycling, and the reuse of materials. By designing products and systems that minimize waste and maximize resource productivity, we can foster sustainable economic development. Lastly, promoting renewable energy and green technology is crucial in building a sustainable future. By investing in clean energy sources, we not only reduce our dependence on fossil fuels but also create new job opportunities and stimulate economic growth in a greener direction. It's a win-win for the environment and the economy. In conclusion, the next generation recognizes the perils of unrelenting economic growth and is ready to take action. By shifting perspectives, exploring alternative models, and promoting sustainable solutions, they are paving the way for a future that is both prosperous and environmentally responsible. It's time for us all to join them on this journey of change. Education is the key to unlocking the potential of the next generation in curbing unrelenting economic growth. By integrating sustainability and environmental awareness into school curricula, we can instill in young minds the importance of finding balance between economic progress and environmental preservation. It's time to go beyond the traditional subjects and equip students with the knowledge and skills necessary to create a sustainable future. When it comes to challenging the status quo, young people have proven time and again that they are not afraid to speak up. Youth-led activism and grassroots movements have played a crucial role in raising awareness about the damaging effects of unrelenting economic growth. From organizing climate strikes to advocating for policy changes, the next generation is determined to make their voices heard and push for a shift towards sustainable practices. It's inspiring to witness the passion and dedication of young activists who are actively shaping the future they want to inherit. Changing the trajectory of economic growth is not without its challenges. The next generation must confront resistance from traditional economic systems, which often prioritize short-term profits over long-term sustainability. However, through persistence, innovation, and effective communication, the young generation can challenge the entrenched beliefs and practices that hinder progress. By demonstrating the economic benefits of sustainable practices and highlighting the potential risks of unchecked growth, they can gradually shift the mindset towards a more sustainable future. Striking a delicate balance between economic growth and sustainability is no easy feat, however. The next generation understands that the two are not mutually exclusive. By embracing innovative technologies, promoting circular economies, and encouraging responsible consumption and production, they can devise strategies that foster economic progress while minimizing harm to the environment. It's crucial to challenge the notion that perpetual growth is the only path to prosperity and find alternative models that prioritize sustainability and well-being. The power of collective action should not be underestimated. Networking and collaboration among young activists are vital for mobilizing youth-led initiatives that can drive meaningful change. By forging connections, sharing knowledge, and uniting voices from different backgrounds, the next generation can create a powerful force that demands attention and action from policymakers, businesses, and society as a whole. Together, they can amplify their impact and accelerate the transition towards a more sustainable and equitable future. To effect systemic change, the next generation must engage with policymakers and institutions. By actively participating in decision-making processes, lobbying for sustainable policies, and holding leaders accountable, young activists can shape the political landscape and influence the direction of economic growth. It's essential for youth-led initiatives to gain a seat at the table, as their fresh perspectives and innovative ideas can provide valuable insights into creating a more sustainable and inclusive economy. The next generation holds the key to redefining the trajectory of economic growth. Through education, activism, collaboration, and engagement with policymakers, they have the tools to put a stop to unrelenting economic growth and pave the way for a sustainable future. It's time to pass the baton to these young leaders and support their efforts in building an economy that works for both people and the planet. After all, if anyone can tackle the challenges of unrelenting economic growth with wit, personality, and a touch of sass, it's the next generation. As we navigate the complexities of unrelenting economic growth, it becomes evident that the next generation holds the key to shaping a more sustainable and equitable future. The rising concerns, shifting perspectives, and collaborative efforts of young individuals pave the way for transformative change. By embracing alternative models, empowering education, and mobilizing youth-led initiatives, we can challenge the status quo and seek a balance between economic prosperity and environmental stewardship. The time has come to entrust the responsibility of steering our economic trajectory to the next generation, for it is their vision and actions that will ultimately determine the path we take towards a more sustainable future. FAQ 1. What is unrelenting economic growth? Unrelenting economic growth refers to the continuous increase in a nation's production and consumption of goods and services, without taking into consideration the long-term consequences and sustainability of such growth. It often prioritizes short-term gains and neglects the environmental, social, and economic impacts associated with this relentless pursuit of growth. 2. Why is the next generation concerned about unrelenting economic growth? The next generation is increasingly concerned about unrelenting economic growth, because they are witnessing the detrimental effects it has on the planet and society. They recognize the urgent need to address environmental degradation, wealth inequality, and social injustices. They are concerned that if we continue down this path, it will compromise their future well-being and that of future generations. 3. How can the next generation promote sustainable alternatives to economic growth? The next generation can promote sustainable alternatives by advocating for change, engaging in activism, and driving innovation. They can support initiatives that prioritize sustainable development, circular economy principles, renewable energy, and equitable wealth distribution. By raising awareness, collaborating with like-minded individuals, and influencing policy decisions, they can play a pivotal role in shaping a more sustainable future. 4. What are the challenges in shifting towards sustainable alternatives to economic growth? Shifting towards sustainable alternatives to economic growth faces several challenges. Resistance from traditional economic systems, political barriers, and the fear of economic stagnation often hinder progress. Balancing economic growth with sustainability goals and convincing stakeholders of the benefits of such a transition can be challenging. However, through perseverance, collaboration, and creative problem-solving, these challenges can be overcome.